Hello, I'm here again. We're just going to give you a little talk about seaweed. I mean, obviously you've been seeing all my videos and posts about us selling seaweeds and what we've been doing. And so I thought I'd just given you a little bit more of an enlightenment about it. And basically seaweed has been around for thousands and thousands of years, ever since the sea began really, and it's been used on farms or by people growing produce for, again, hundreds and thousands of years. We've only traced it back to Stone Age, but it could have gone on before there. So there's obviously been, farmers have seen there's been great benefits of seaweed over all those years. Now, what we've actually done and why we've got a product which we seem to think is leading the field at the moment is our Edwards Advanced Seaweed. And that is a blend of not only seaweed but humic substances. So what they actually do is the seaweed helps push down roots, so you get a lot larger rooting system, as well as works with photosynthesis, taking goodness from the air and that into the plants and producing greener plants and healthier plants and all that side of things. Whereas the humic substances, they help open up the soil. They give very good reserves, feed banks there for bacteria and things like that to work in. And it also gives availability of plant available potash to the plants. Now, what we actually do with that is we also apply a product called BioN, again, which you will have seen quite a lot of it about with us advertising. BioN is nitrogen fixing bacteria along with bacteria that cycle phosphates and other elements in the soil. Now, these bacteria, you put them in once a year and they give a continual supply of nutrition for up to 9 months, whether that be nitrogen, phosphates, potash, whatever. But it is fed by the seaweed and by the humic substance. On its own, it doesn't work quite so well. It has got to have a food source to survive for that length of time. So basically, the three products put together that we developed have come up and they produce fantastic amount of cropping, and it can be used on all types of crops. We've had dairy farmers this year that have done up to 4 or 5 cuts of silage off one application. Not recommended by me. You do need really ideally to feed with some more seaweed between cuts. I've just had somebody back that said they've had the best silage analysis they've ever had in all the years they've been farming, just by putting an application of this on. And so we can maintain yields or even produce more, higher yields. But the key thing with it all is, at the end of the day, that you've got to look at your soil and get your soil right. And it is very, very important to have a good level of bacteria in the soil and an air source for them to live with. So it comes down to putting on seaweed with the BioN, with regular aeration on grassland, and then the whole lot works and will work together, and it will work on new lays, on old pastures. We're doing work on fruit trees where it's being supplied onto there, and we're finding we're getting higher quantities of juice in the apples where it's been put on fruit trees, which is very important for cider makers and people like that, and even for the taste on just ordinary eating apples. The more juicier they are, the nicer they are. And it works exactly the same with pears or anything like that. So there is a lot of advantages in using seaweed and BioN. But one of the key things which most of the farmers would like really is that this lasts, when you put an application on with the Bio-N on ordinary standard grazing, it will last for up to 9 months, a continual supply of nitrogen as the plant requires it. The other thing it does is it does not leach into the atmosphere or into the watercourses, whereas chemical fertilizers can leach anything up to 80% of your nutrient that you put on. So if you put a bag of nitrogen on, you could possibly lose between 30 and 80% into a watercourse. Now, that's not very economical way of farming, my view. I haven't seen a farmer yet put 2 bags of fertilizer on the front of his loader and put the one in the spinner to go on his cereals or on his grassland, and the other one to go and put in the river. And if you did, you would probably be in deep trouble. But at the end of the day, that's where it ends up. So save money by using natural fertilizers, Seaweed and Bio-N.